a program officer. I've been working for 2 years now. So what I do is I go to government shelters and I do programs for the clients there, for the victims there. So like for example, explain on the case process, what they will go through. I will also give English and Malay lessons, stress management activity, building, social awareness to create awareness on important topics like human trafficking, safe migration, and also support them in their court proceedings. This is basically what I do. So what is my motivation? What keeps me going is, as simple as when they say thank you after the activity, or when they accomplish something during the activity. So, or when they say you made my day, I'm happy today after so long, that is actually what keeps me going. And when I see them focused, like, we go there, like I go there, do programs and all that, and during the activity, when I see them being very focused in the activity, it's actually also a motivation for me. It's like, they're doing something rather than just keep sitting and thinking about their issues. So yeah, and sometimes when they are very proud, like when they create something during the activity, and when they show you, okay, I've created something, that will actually also keeps me going. There's more. Sometimes, when we go in and we do English lessons and all that, and eventually after many weeks we see them improve in the English or Malay. Yeah, that is really great joy for me. And also the eagerness to learn English or to join the activity, like, why you didn't come last week, what happened, so that kind of reactions from them actually is motivation and also greatest joy for me. My challenges would be, they need something but we can't actually go and give it to them. And sometimes listening to their stories, like what kind of life they went through, and why they were trafficked, how they were trafficked, how they were abused. Listening to all the stories actually makes me weak sometimes. Yeah. And weak, and at the same time it also boosts me up, like, to be more grateful in life. And what are my hopes for the future is that I hope victims are protected, they're treated with respect, dignity, with TIA in practice, if possible. And like what we are doing now, like we have VAS, right? Victims Assistance Specialists. I hope, for all the possible victims, there is actually a program for all victims to get VAS to support them from rescue to repatriation. And victims getting freedom to work and also to move. Court cases doesn't take so long, so waiting time minimized. And when waiting time is minimized, I feel that clients will feel better and there will be more witnesses, I feel. They are given phone calls without fail. They're given more activities to be empowered with skills, counseling support in all languages. So anybody with sometimes some people with some languages don't get counseling support because they don't have the language. So yeah, if possible, that should be avoided. And lastly, follow up once they are repatriated, so that they don't fall into being re-trafficked again due to having no choice. So we follow up until we find support group in their country so that they get the support that they need. Yeah, and lastly, I'm being too ambitious, but my hopes for the future is that there's no victims anymore. Thank you.
Hi, I'm working as a case officer. I think this coming October going to be my 5th year. Wow. with Good Shepherd and Global Shepherds. So talking about motivation, I would say it's more about non-routine situation when you're working in a shelter. What I mean, like, you know, sometimes when you're working in an office, that you wake up, you know what is going to happen, you know what are you going to do. But working in a shelter and with GSB, you never know. There's always new things happening, always new adventures, new learnings. Always, when it comes to challenges, it's always about emotion management, because you are dealing with people in crisis. They are coming, you know, like when people doing shelter, they thought, you know, like I'm doing kind of charity, and these people should be feeling grateful that they are being given shelter, that they are being helped in some ways. But in this shelter is a different thing. Like you have to service, you have to do the service, you have to give in more of yourself instead of taking more of the residents. So it is about emotion management when you have to deal with the trauma that the residents are having, and also language barriers, because most of our residents, they are not local. They can't speak well in English, they can't speak in Malay. So sometimes it causes more frustration between two parties, you know, the residents or the staff. So it is about how you manage the gap. So maybe you could use more of body language, you know, visual kind of thing. The healing process and the empowerment process that the women gone through while they are in a shelter. I remember this one incident where we received this woman. I would say that she's very badly beaten, and then, you know, like when you've been in that hard situation, you don't even have your self-confidence. So when we fill up the admission form, we asked her to sign, you know, put your signature, what kind of belongings we kept for you, and then put the signature, put the name. She didn't want to write. And then after a few months, when we discharged the women, and then I was in that presumption that she's not going to write her name or not going to do anything. So I took the, what do you call it, the stamp pad, you know, the thumb one. I asked her to do that. She said, no, it's okay, I can write my name. I was like, wow. In my heart, you know, like within that short period, you build something, the self-confidence inside the women. So that's like a kind of like happy moments for me. Hope that our world, especially people around us, they are more aware about human trafficking. Because if I brought up this issue, I know about it, but when I brought up this issue with my, you know, my family members or my friends, they don't even know this thing is actually exists. You know, they are talking like, you know, this is like a drama kind of story. I said, yeah, you may say this drama, but it's actually happening in the neighborhood. So maybe our people, you know, like the public, be more sensitive and have the courage. If they see something wrong, they just have to come forward and ask, are you okay? Just one simple thing to, you know, to see, wait, will it, instead of, you know, that don't want to jaga tepi kain, you know, that kind of concept.